Let's talk about Callum Morton first up, Darren. From what you've been saying, has a bit of Jack Marriott about him, can get on the shoulder, has that pace to get in behind?
Yeah, he certainly wants to run in behind. That's the strength he has. He's full of energy, quick enough, and he just wants to play on the shoulder and get in behind teams and penetrate that way where he's running. Makes good runs, intelligent runs. His movement's good. So yeah, I think he's a good addition in the sense of he gives us more energy and more of a player that I think we need in terms of wanting to break the lines with his running, especially with the shape we're playing at the moment. And excuse me, the creative midfield players we've got.
Yeah, with the midfield diamond, it does offer so many opportunities, not only for the out and out attackers, but for the attacking players in midfield to make those runs.
Yeah, I mean it does, but also if you play three at the back, we've done that with two strikers, so I think that would help the boy. I think he would be better than a two rather than a one. He can play up front on his own, but I think he certainly would be better than a two. So we've looked at all the things that we think he's going to bring us. And given the current market and where we're at and where we can compete, we feel it's a good sign.
Is he looking sharp and ready to go?
Well, he won't be ready now until probably another week or so. But then obviously we have to factor in the West Brom game is the next one after Coventry. So he'd probably be ready for the Birmingham game.
But yeah, you're confident he can get to where you need him to be?
Oh yeah, he has to, and we've done all our checks. West Brom have been very good in the sense that giving him to us before we initially thought. So he does a bit of training with us, and like I say, it doesn't affect them because he can't play against them anyway. So I think it'll just get him up to speed, get him used to how we train, get him used to the players and how we play. I think it's vital that we got him in before the Birmingham game.
Talking of strikers, there's been a bit of noise around Jonson Clarke-Harris transfer-wise this week, presumably on a personal level for him. He's still really keen to keep testing himself at championship level?
Oh, absolutely. He's highly motivated to do that. And we've had good conversations, the pair of us. Obviously, he didn't play in the last game. He did in the game before that. So it's just getting the balance right about the right strikers to pick in certain games. And there's always speculation at this time of year. It doesn't make it's sometimes a lot of noise. And as far as I'm concerned, he's very much part of the squad, and he's just going to continue working hard to, if he gets in the team, stay in the team, and if he's not in the team, get in the team. So it's simple, same for other strikers. We've got, with Jack Marriott's not far off. We've got Ricky back, so we've got good competition now.
Yeah, the interesting thing for Jonson, I suppose, is that he'd always want to be starting, but some of the impact he's made off the bench has been really good and is a useful thing for you.
Yeah, he has. The Millwall game was a good example. And he's done it in other games as well, where he's come off the bench and had a real impact. So, yeah, he gives you, if he doesn't start, he's always a good outlet to change the dynamics of the game because he's totally different to what we've got. So, yeah, he does do well. And at home, generally, he's done all right in games. So, we feel he's done better at home than he has away. But I suppose you could argue that for all of them, really.
With your new goalkeeper, Stephen Bender, is it a case of you have to have quite a detailed conversation ahead of that sort of signing, because he's coming in wanting those first team opportunities, but equally you've got David Cornell who's been going well for you?
You just want competition for each place, two players for each place, really. And the goalkeeping one's slightly different to obviously outfield players. The boys sacrificed a lot to come to us. He made it clear he wanted to come. He's made it clear he wants to play. My decision now is do I continue with Dye or do I bring Stephen straight in? So I've got to make a decision there. But that's what I want. That's no slight on young Will, but Will's not had any experience at all, really. So he needs to go out. It gives us the advantage of sending him out on loan now to hopefully get games till the end of the season himself.
And with Stephen, he was right on the cusp by the looks of things of it was that sort of choice that Russell Martin had to make at the start of the season at Swansea. So he's been there or thereabouts with them.
Yeah, I think he played the first 5 games for Swansea. He started the season with them. So, and then there was changes and, Russ has obviously brought in the lad from Milton Keynes he's worked with before. So we were aware of Stephen amongst others, but we felt this one worked, especially given the commitment he made to coming to us.
With further team news ahead of the weekend, Joel Randall missed out last Saturday, slight injury. Is he now back in training?
No, not yet. He will be back on, just look at his plan. He'll be back on Monday, training, and then we'll gradually build him up. We're not going to rush him. We would like ideally to get him some minutes in under 23 game before he comes back with the first team. So, it could be another couple of weeks for him.
Yeah, is it a case of being extra specially careful given the season he's had, and he's had a number of setbacks, hasn't he?
We have to be really careful with him. So that's why it's worth waiting maybe an extra week. He possibly could have been back for the West Brom game, but there's in my opinion, no need to rush this one. When we get him back, we have to make sure there's no further injuries, because then it'll be a season completely written off for a player that's cost the club a lot of money. And the boy's a very good player. We just, unfortunately, haven't got him going. He came with us after a long injury. He picked up a small injury, and then obviously he's picked this one up. So we have to try and get him going. So that's why it's worth taking an extra week for, even if he was to be back for the last 19 games, I'd rather have that than him back for a couple of games and then missing again, So, yeah, we've still got a lot of games left.
With the way you're currently playing, is the point of the diamond, is that the ideal fit for Joel, or could he play in the 2? Where would you see him?
I'd see him as a 10 in that formation. We'd have to do quite a bit of work on him on the sides in terms of defensively. But yeah, we've got some good players that can play there. That's why the system does work. You've got Jack Taylor, I could list 5 or 6 easily within the squad, and so we have got a lot of numbers for that position.
What do you make of Coventry ahead of this one? Generally, they've had a good season, maybe not quite so good for them of late.
No, I would say they've had a very good season. I think they've got a very good team and squad and manager, and I think they've been together for quite a while now, which helps. They've gradually grown in this league, and at one stage we're right up there in the playoffs, and I'm sure that's the ambition of them to finish the season there. So, no, a team that a real identity to them, got a real energy about them. I think we've seen that in the game we played at their place, where we're well in the game, and then all of a sudden they just went and blew us away. But we're at home, and in every home game we've played this season, we could have won it. And that's the facts. We've been very unlucky not to pick more points up. We feel confident at home. We're very strong at home, and we want that sort of performance again. And if we get that, then I know we'll give Coventry a good game.
Yeah, and you seem quite comfortable as well with the importance of the home games. It's obvious, really, given what's been happening away, that home matches are crucial for you. But that doesn't seem to be too much of a pressure. The players seem happy with that.
No, I think the players have enjoyed the home matches when, especially, there's been a large away support. Millwall, we won. QPR, we won. Bournemouth, we drew. Fulham, we just got beat. West Brom, we just got beat in the last minute. They've enjoyed playing in these atmospheres. And I know Coventry will bring a large support. They've got fantastic supporters. So I'm sure my players will enjoy it again. There's just something that we have to maintain, is this home form, because I do feel it'll go a long way to staying in the division. I really do. I felt it played a large part of us getting promoted. So we're hoping that, and we have to keep this home performances going and start turning these small defeats and draws into wins.